Salvete omnes. In today's video, we will be looking at the forms of the imperfect subjunctive. In a previous video, we looked at the forms of the present subjunctive, where each conjugation had a different theme vowel to show that the verb was in the subjunctive mood. For all other tenses of the subjunctive, the imperfect, perfect, and pluperfect, the verbs form the same way regardless of conjugation. And in fact, the imperfect subjunctive may be the easiest verb form in Latin. Students often overcomplicate the imperfect subjunctive, so I want to be very clear. Don't do that. It's simple. Trust yourself that you're doing it correctly, even if it seems like it's too easy. To form the imperfect subjunctive, you take the second principal part of the verb, i.e. the present active infinitive, and you add the endings directly onto it. That's it. It's just that. You don't change anything about the infinitive, the endings just fix right on. So let's take an example. The verb amo, amare, amavi, amatum, to love. To form the imperfect active subjunctive, you take that second principal part, amare, and you add endings you already know. M, S, T, mus, tis, und. So the forms for the imperfect active subjunctive of amo are amarem, amares, amaret, amaremus, amaretis, amarent. To form the imperfect passive subjunctive, once again, you just add the endings to the second principal part. And again, for the passive, these are verb endings you already know. A, ris, tur, mur, mini, untur. So the forms for the imperfect passive subjunctive are amare, amareris, amaretur, amaremur, amaremini, amarentur. This works for any verb. You just take that second principal part and add on the endings. So here we have the imperfect active subjunctive of dico. And here we have the imperfect passive subjunctive of audio. But what about irregular verbs, you may be asking? Surely it can't be that simple for a verb like sum, esse, fui, the verb to be. But it is. Once again, you just take the present infinitive, the second principal part, esse, and you add the endings directly onto it. So the imperfect subjunctive of the verb to be is essem, esses, esset, essemus, essetis, essent. The infinitive doesn't change, you just add the endings onto it. And remember, there is no passive of the verb to be. So in this video, we learned how to form the imperfect subjunctive in the active and passive for all 5 conjugations of the verb, and we learned the imperfect subjunctive of the verb to be. Just like the present subjunctive, the imperfect subjunctive translates differently depending on the context, so we will learn how to translate it in future videos. You should now do the exercise entitled The Imperfect Subjunctive, which you can find in our learning management system. As always, if you have any questions, rewatch the video or send them to me via email. Valete omnes.